All right, guys, we got delivery numbers to talk about. NIO delivered 3,300 vehicles last week, same as the week before. But this week, our deliveries are lower than Lexus and lower than Ziegler. What is going on? What? Well, are we still going to get 20,000 deliveries? Let me explain what's going on. It all has to do with exhaustion and people not really trusting the sales reps. Well, previously, late July, all right, mid-late July, they lowered the incentives, battery swap vouchers from 40 down to 20. But apparently, that reduction was too much. And of course, they had a countdown to go with that, yada, yada, yada. They had a countdown. Oh, it's going away. Battery swap vouchers being reduced. And that may have gotten some people to take delivery of the cars and pull the trigger. But then afterwards, they had that period of time where it was just 20. Sales were not so great. And then they had to quickly readjust it back to 36 free swap vouchers. So now it's 36 free swap vouchers, almost the same as before, 40. So it just tells you that NIO doesn't really have room to remove the incentives. And the NIO store manager, NIO house manager told me that, to be honest, going forward, if NIO wants to see sales increase, the incentives will just have to get even better. Threatening customers to remove incentives isn't going to work. And it's like the story of the boy who cried wolf. All right. Since April, all the sales reps, they had a countdown. The BAS pay 4 months, get 1 month free is ending in 5 days, in 4 days, in 3 days, in 2 days, in 1 day. It's over. Boom. May rolls around. That policy continues. Pay 4 months BAS, get 1 month free. May rolls around. Near the end of May, this is finally going away. Buy 4 months, get 1 month free, finally going away. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Countdown. 3 days until it ends. 2 days until it ends. 1 day until it ends. Boom. June rolls around. That policy continues. Still get 4 month, pay 4 months, get 1 month free. And then near the end of June, you got that again. All right, BAS policy going away. Get your car now. Get your NIO now. 4 days left, 3 days left, 2 days left, 1 day left. And you can understand that consumers, right, they're seeing this and they're getting bombarded with these countdowns, right, from these sales reps. Oh, it's ending soon. It's ending soon. Oh, 4 days left. And then wait, 1 month later, hey, another 4 days left. And it kind of becomes a little bit, consumers become immune to it. Yeah, and it's further validated by the fact that even if NIO does reduce incentives, they're going to have to bring it back up, right? With that swap vouchers being the exact case. And going forward, it seems like they're never going to remove the pay 4 months, get 1 month free, because that's just absolutely going to destroy sales. Right now, it's barely maintaining sales. 3,300. Some of you guys will say that's not great. I say it's okay, on the lower end of my metrics. But going forward, if they remove the BAS policy, pay 4 months, get 1 month free, it's going to be a very tough sell. It's going to be a very tough sell. And you could argue that if they remove that policy, sales are going to be reduced even more. The sales reps told me, like, the consumers, the customers are asking, why do you guys always have those countdowns? I mean, there's seems to always be like a countdown for something. And that's exactly the case. I mean, there's exhaustion from these countdowns. You can no longer threaten customers with incentives going away, that they're not going to pull the trigger because of this anymore, simply because they know for a fact incentives are not going away. So going forward, if NIO wants more sales, they're going to have to increase incentives. Also, notably, Envo may also have an impact on NIO. So internally, NIO CEO said that they were kind of worried that Envo will have a very big impact on NIO. And when they launched the Envo L60 on May 15th, there wasn't that much of an impact, right? Probably mainly because, the interior wasn't really exactly shown off, and a lot of stuff you still don't know about it yet. But as we get closer to the Envo launch, the full launch, and as more and more information is revealed about Envo L60, more leaks coming out, and how great this car is, the storage capacity, all the features, the freezer, NIOs don't have that. The big horizontal screen, NIOs don't have that. 900 volt NIOs don't have that. Cheaper price, all this kind of stuff. Maybe NIO is correct in the fact that Envo will have an impact on NIO. All right. And I kind of agree with that. All right. Their worries are justified. Okay. Until NIO's lineup is refreshed to the NT 3.0 lineup, for now, the features on this car, and I mean features, okay, not luxuriousness, and you can argue comfort and service is definitely going to be better. NIO's definitely going to be better than Envo. But in terms of features and things that customers want, the Envo L60 is going to take the win, all right, compared to NIO. So in that aspect, 900 volt versus 400 volt, Envo car takes 15 minutes to charge 20% to 80%. NIO's, you're still going to take an hour to charge. Yeah, so it's kind of a tough sell, and you're paying more for NIO. You're buying the luxurious brand. People will still pull the trigger for NIO. It's a luxury item that people want. But Envo is starting to have an impact on NIO sales. NIO sales reps are worried about Envo taking their sales. NIO, Willem Lee was worried about this, and I gotta agree with him. Okay, so it is also having a sort of a small effect. All right, I wouldn't say it's massive effect. It's having a small effect on NIO sales and momentum. The other thing you gotta remember is the competitiveness, the product cycle. We talked about how phones, product cycles 1 year. Cars should be 2 to 3 years, or maybe even 4 to 5 years for some vehicles. But now, Zeekr, they update their product cycle in 6 months. All right. At the beginning of this year, they were selling the 2023 Zeekr 001. And then in February, they started selling the 2024 variant Zeekr 001. And then just recently, in August, they started selling the 2025 variant Zeekr 001. How insane is that? That just emphasizes how competitive this EV market here in China is. All right. We are definitely approaching the last, I'd say 50% or last 30% of this whole entire EV survival race. A lot of guys are already wiped out. All right. Weltmeister's gone, Hi-Fi gone. There's going to be more people that will be gone. The strongest, fittest survive. You need the best product to get sales. Otherwise, your product, it becomes outmatched by the newer cars that come out. And you got to try to outmatch them. So that just means that you're constantly trying to refresh your car. You're having a shorter product cycle. And that's just absolutely nuts. And clearly in this case, right, I wouldn't say NIO's product cycle is kind of old, no. But compared to Envo, it does make it seem old, right? Think about it. 900 volts for Envo, NIO still 400 volt, right? Horizontal screen, Envo, NIO vertical screen, small vertical screen. No rear entertainment screen. That's a big kicker for NIO owners. A lot of NIO owners, they see that little rear entertainment screen on the Envo L60 and they get jealous. Man, they wish they had that, but we don't have that. So that is something to keep in mind, all right? The product cycle, absolutely insane. So the number one urgency for NIO right now is to get the cars onto the NT 3.0 platform, ASAP. That's also what NIO CEO said. That's the number one priority for the NIO brand. Get the cars onto NT 3.0 platform and then launch them and get them delivered ASAP, all right? With all these new cars coming out, each one of them with newer features and better specs, it's kind of overwhelming. That's the best way to describe it. So 3,300 have sales peaked unless they further increase incentives, then sales are going to increase more. All right. They got to have some like crazy incentives, like even more incentives if they want to like get more sales. But if they reduce incentives or even threaten to reduce incentives, which we know it doesn't work, then we could perhaps see sales stagnate. And that's just the way it is. All right. But definitely, a lot of people are waiting for Onvo. Some NIO buyers are waiting and looking at Onvo. And that's the big takeaway. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.